What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I'm going to go ahead and tint the windows in the Bora, and I've come up with a bit of a game plan, a bit of an ingenious game plan I should say, to save myself some money. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys exactly how I intend to do that today, and hopefully have some tinted windows in this car for a fraction of the price of getting a professional to install it. I was just thinking about booking the car and to get it tint done for my normal tint guy, and then just thought, how can I save myself some money, because I'm a bit of a stinge. Obviously, if you know me by now, if you know me in person, you know that I like to save a bit of money here and there. And yeah, looked on the driveway and realised that the parts car that I have for another project has tinted windows. As you can see, I have that fishbowl effect on the Bora, and it is definitely, there's no privacy and the car gets really hot. And then come over here, and here is my parts car, and as you can see, tinted. So all I'm going to do today is basically swap over the glass from both the cars, both Boras, so both are exactly the same. And yeah, I'll have to go ahead and get these tinted anyway, because I can't swap over the tint for here and the rear windscreen, but that cost me next to nothing compared to getting the whole car done. So I'll do all 4 windows today, and then I'll book in to get the rear quarters tinted, and obviously the rear windscreen tinted as well at a later stage. So there's my master plan to save a bit of money on tinting, so let's go ahead and get it done. So through here, you can get it out, and here's from here as well. And as you can see, you've got the 2 bolts here holding in the glass. So let's undo them, let's get this glass out. Now I'm wondering whether I can get away with just undoing the bolt rather than removing it like I have here. We'll see. There we go. Move you guys back so you can see. And there's the glass loose. Hopefully I can get it all the way out. I might lower a bit more. There we have our tinted windows for a fraction of the price. So note to self, don't take the screws all the way out, because the brackets fall out too, and they're not magnetic, so you can't retrieve them. You have to take off the whole inner skin of the door. What I mean by that is you got to remove all of the 10mm bolts holding in this part of the door, to squeeze your hand into the corner here to get the bracket out. And no, it is not magnetic, so you cannot retrieve it that way. So now that's done, the glass is out here. Let's put the tinted glass in this one and finish up this door, and let's crack on with the other 3 doors. So now it's all back together again, and as you can see, you've got tinted versus not tinted, so a bit of an effort. Like I said, don't undo the screws all the way because they do fall out, but other than that, yeah, easy peasy. It's getting hot, but let's get the other ones done ASAP. Alright, so here's the inner of the rear doors, and as you can see, there's no holes like there were on the fronts. So the hole is actually down here, and the glass is held in by a retaining kind of plastic pin that holds it into the mechanism. So once you knock off that pin, just a bit of plastic with a screwdriver, and the glass will be free. And then obviously you're going to retrieve that pin because the pin falls inside the actual door. So I'm going to undo some of these more bolts, pull it out and retrieve the pin so I can reinstall it on the TDI. So because I've never actually taken the glass out of the rears before, yeah, it's a lot harder and a lot more work than I anticipated, only because, well, obviously the glass is now loose because the pin is being removed from down here, but here, this is in the way. So because the glass sits into the channel, it doesn't actually want to come out, so I've got to actually unbolt this one here from, there's a hole down here, and there's a hole down here with 2 bolts. So I may as well go ahead and remove this one as well, so I can just use that on the Bora too if I want to go ahead and remove both glasses. I can't remove one without the other, so let's go ahead and unbolt this frame and get this whole lot removed. That means I only have to do the rear windscreen on the Bora through my tint guy rather than the small bits of glass too. So as you can see, it is a bit of work getting the rear glass out. Getting the seal completely off the door is not fun. Is it worth it? Probably not, but I'm halfway through now, so let's carry on and let's get the job finished because I'm getting absolutely toasted today. And I'm getting absolutely filthy too, just with the door seal, so let's carry on. Driver's side rear is done. This bracket here, which is this part right there, that is the worst. You're going to put the glass in first, and then you're going to try and slide this in without scratching the tint, and having these brackets hanging off and bending and catching on everything on the way down, and then trying to fit this part into the top part of the door as well is an absolute nightmare. So I spent maybe an hour trying to get this thing back in, trying to push it up again to try and get this part here into the actual door. It's in, it's just, yeah, trying to align everything at the same time. So we've got one more to go with the glass in. You can see in here, you line the hole up with the glass with the bracket, and then you got to try and punch in the these. Put that one in first, and then you're going to try and knock this one in, like without it falling away, in there like that. So then you've got to try and hit that into there. There goes my umbrella, until it goes inside of each other, and that holds in the glass to that bracket. So there's the pins back in. So basically you're going to have one screwdriver on the larger pin and one screwdriver like holding this bit of wiring out the way. So you can put the bigger part in first, get that in halfway, and then you want to go ahead and get a smaller screwdriver, a really thin one, like this, and so it can go on the inside of the hole. Just guide it in, and then with a second screwdriver on the tip of it, pretty much holding together with one hand, and with the other hand use your hammer, tap it in, and it's in. Now the fun part of getting this thing back in, which is an absolute pain because you've got to go in this way, yep, that way, and you've got all these brackets that can catch onto everything, especially this one here. This one bent on the driver's side, so I've got to be careful of that going in. And then this on the top here as well, this bends sometimes as well going in the top there. So yeah, we'll figure it out, we'll get there. So this is where I always get stuck. So I've got the frame in, I need to try and get it, there's a little slot in there that goes into, that bar. And then you look down here, you've got next to no room or any space down there. So literally when you look down the hole, you see these two brackets, and that one there, this one right there, catches on the glass. So I'm going to put a screwdriver there to hold it away from the glass so it doesn't scratch it. Then you've got this one down here that gets caught as well in that little bracket area there too. So it's the most finical part of the whole process, is this part here. I said it's 90% all the way in, it's just that little bit left to go there. So I'll keep fiddling and see how we go. So it's nice and dark compared to what it used to look like. Obviously the rear windscreen has not been tinted, and they even have the smaller windows, so you can see big difference between the tinted and non-tinted. But definitely overall it's going to keep the car nice and cool. Obviously the parts car now has the non-tinted windows. You can see the big difference in it. Doesn't matter about this car anyway. Like I said, if I can salvage some parts off of it and it pretty much pays for itself, then doesn't. Obviously it's for another project I've got coming up in the future, mainly just the driveline and the interior and everything else, obviously. But yeah, if I can salvage as much as I can from the car, whether it's for this or for another project, then it's worth its money in gold, really. So yeah, that's it done. Like I said, the pillars, they are the worst part of the whole job. And then obviously trying to get that window out, trying to pull the window this way out from that seal, you can actually tear the seal down here because they're so old now. They're 20 years old, the rubbers, so they're not exactly flexible anymore. They're quite brittle, and I've kind of cheated here and just didn't bother putting it back in because it was not worth my while. So the window is up. Obviously no one can get in, but it's just here, there's no seal there, so if it rains, so be it. A little bit of water gets in, but it is what it is. But yeah, so overall I'm happy with how the car looks. Yes, it's not a professional job, but look, it's a lot better than it was, so I'm definitely happy with it for a DIY job. So I'm probably going to end the video here, guys. I'm absolutely toasted. It's been 2 days in the sun. Obviously there's no room in the garage because I've got the R32 and the other project car next to it, so that's definitely coming up in the future, so I can actually get to work in the garage because summer's coming, like I said before, and it's just absolutely hot and blistering, and I'm just absolutely knackered. So I'm going to head in and I'm going to get some nice cold drink, and I'm going to put my feet up for the rest of the afternoon. So thanks again for watching, guys. If you're liking the content, be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, then chuck in a subscribe, leave a comment down below, and even follow me on Instagram as well. I'll leave the links in my description. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.